All right, guys, I have with me here the brain behind the annual Maritime Students and Youth Conference in the person of Mr. Obase. Sir, okay, he's going to speak for himself, so let him speak.
My name is Mr. Silvanus Obase, the CEO, Platforms Communications Concept and convener, Annual Maritime Students and Youth Conference.
Your advice to these young youth, young adults, what is your advice to them? Most of the students might be skeptical about the future. What does it take to keep the hope going, to keep hope alive in them? Okay, there's still a brighter future.
The challenge in the maritime sector is not peculiar to maritime alone. In every subsector of Nigerian economy, there are challenges. If you talk to banking sector students, they have the challenges. Insurance sector students, they have the challenges. Medical science students, they have the challenges. So, and that challenge, one of which is employment. Maritime is very costly. It's not something you go. In fact, you can finish your ND and now say you want to do what is called mandatory courses that will take you to go inside the ship and work for 1 year, 6 months before you get what is called certificate of competence. And that certificate you need, outside your ND certificate, the mandatory certificate could cost you as much as 500,000. And if you are a poor family, if you are from a poor family, you may not be able to get that certification. And if you don't get it, you cannot progress because you need that seat time, that 1 year, 6 months seat time to progress. So it's a challenge to a lot of students. Then two, we also have the challenge of some students not being too focused. Some of them did not know what they're bargained to. We have a sister program of this, which is a mentorship program, where we have discovered that in some universities, some students just decided to read marine engineering because they feel like they heard it, they feel, okay, since it's a science course and they're science, they can read it. But they do not know that being a marine engineer means you have to work on a ship. And for you to work on a ship, you don't just need a degree certificate. So they get to a level, they now know that, marine engineer degree certificate will not take me anywhere until I go on board. So these are the challenges that we are trying to let them sensitize them, let them know, so that as they're journeying in their career, they know the right steps to take and the right places to go.
Okay, you made mention that to be a maritime student is very expensive. What are the steps that has been put in place to make sure things happen, like maybe giving some of the less privileged scholarship in order to allow them be in school?
Thank you for that question. When I say it's expensive, maritime sector is shore-based and offshore. Shore is the activity that happen on the land, like those working in the Massa, NPA, Shippers Council, all those other freight forwarders. They are shore-based. Those ones are not as expensive as the offshore. Offshore are the marine engineers, the nautical science, the naval architecture students. Those are the ones that work inside the vessel on top of a sea. You sleep in the vessel there. And so those, you need a certain certificate to get there. Those are the ones that are quite expensive. So if you are from a poor background and you don't have the money, instead of going on that journey of offshore, you go to the shore. Shipping management, transport and logistics, maritime management and business studies. Those ones are the ones that can qualify you to be in the management position, not going to work inside the vessel. Those ones are relatively cheap. Then on scholarship, NEMASA has what they call National Seafarers Development Program, which is a scholarship to train those that work inside the vessel. So those that are opportune to get into it, they will take you out of the country to go and study those marine engineering, nautical science, and when you come back, they will send you to go and do your seat time. And then the moment you finish your seat time and get your certificate of competence, you're a millionaire. Yes, because the vessel owner will be looking for you. They are few because of the challenges of the finance. Because if that certificate expire, to renew it could cost you millions. And if you don't have the millions, you cannot qualify to go into another vessel. So a vessel is a ship, which means shipping being international, the standard is international. So if you are not good in your local place, it will affect your participation internationally. So what applies here applies in the US, applies in Ghana, applies every other way. So if you are not standard here, a Ghana ship will not allow you to come into their vessel, because you will not know what to do when the stakes are high.
Wow, it was so nice speaking with you. Thank you so much for coming, and have a pleasant evening.
Abilawon Oluremi, CEO, Managing Director of Far Maritime Bootcamp Limited, at the same time Far Maritime Logistics, Young Maritime Bootcamp Limited and Far Maritime Logistics.
Okay, sir, heard about the word cabotage. Can you throw more light on it?
Yeah, cabotage is all about indigenization of maritime activities. It is expected that when ship back from international community to our water, every activity from that point into our own shore is about cabotage, and it is expected that we develop that industry to allow for creation of employment, to allow for interpretation of the content of that policy as well, for us to grow the Nigerian maritime sector as well. But what we see today is that it has not been fully implemented, it has not been fully utilized, hence there is no creativity within Nigerian sector, and that's why many Nigerian maritime students today could not be placed for employment or are not even creative enough to take advantage of that Cabotage Act. The Cabotage Act actually meant well for the industry to develop it, to grow it. If you want to do a ship for Nigeria, it has to be developed in Nigeria through that Cabotage Act. The steel for us to build that ship, we cannot generate it because our steel industry is not really working. And those are the kind of bane or problems that is, hampering the development of that Cabotage Act.
All right, sir, a quick one.
Okay.
What is the assurance? What is this word that you can use to encourage the youth that maritime is a place to be?
Yeah, maritime is a place to be because it's actually diversified. We have maritime journalism, we have maritime resources, that is for every resources under the water. We have maritime academy, maritime training, maritime shipping, maritime operation, maritime logistics. It's so wide, and so it is expected of you not to wait for a white collar job in maritime industry for you before you can thrive. I am a product of University of Lagos, a master's and postgraduate student of University of Lagos. Today, I am a proud owner of 2 maritime companies, still working up towards achieving at least I've gotten my licenses, and I wished one day I will be one of the shippers of this country. By God.
And I say amen to that.
Amen.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for coming, and have a pleasant evening. All right, guys, we're still at the annual Maritime Students and Youth Conference, and I have with me here one of the stakeholders of the event, in the person of
Professor Callistus Chukwudi Ibe.
Okay, Professor, as one of the stake and key person in the maritime industries, there are so many other industries. What makes maritime unique?
Well, in the first instance, I'm a professor of transport management. Maritime is unique because that is where you link with the outside world. That is the main thread, international thread, is done within the maritime mode. And without maritime, the world is not connected. Work of the goods we consume come through the maritime sector. And it is a creator of labor. A lot of people are involved in the maritime sector. So a country that develops its maritime sector actually will have captured the economy of that state, and the economy will develop. It is highly driven by technology because when you move, technology is the key there. And currently, the maritime sector is developing towards what they call now the blue economy, where we want to harness the resources within the maritime sector. Again, when you do work with the maritime sector, you must make it sustainable by maintaining the ocean so that it can be clean. So this is an aspect now that is actually creating wealth, because people want to stop the pollution of the ocean, and for you to do that and sustain it, sustainability is the key issues now. So you need to make it clean, and by making it clean, people will work with it, will have the opportunity of exploiting the resources within the maritime sector. And
Okay, sir. There is this mindset in the mind of the Nigerian youth that there are no jobs in the country. So, what has Maritime really put in place to make sure they curtail the statement,
well,
change the narrative?
if you had listened to my goodwill message there today, I told them how to change the narratives. They need to imbibe skills. They need to be creative. They need to be innovative. They should push beyond the envelope. They need to imbibe the 21st century knowledge, which we call critical knowledge and critical thinking. It's only when you think you know that you can scan through your environment and harness opportunities. There are inherent opportunities in the maritime sector, and it's only an entrepreneurial student that will harness that. When you go around the sea, you scan through, you see a lot of opportunities. See, the students should not say they are not employed. They should be employers of labor and not job seekers. And if you are, majority of our students are employers of labor from FUTO, because we train them to be critical, we train them to be innovative, we train them to explore their environment, and that they are doing, and they are making waves both in Nigeria and elsewhere where you find them. So maritime sector creates job. Maritime sector helps countries to sustain themselves. And it's only somebody who is not creative that will say that the maritime sector is not an enabler of employment.
Right, guys, I have with me here the overall winner of the speech competition. How does it feel to be a winner?
I feel elated, I feel glad, and I'm so excited.
Wow, I love your smile.
Thank you.
Are you a student of Maritime?
Yes, I was, and I'm still a student.
Wow. Okay, as a young adult, you know the situation of our country. What advice do you have for people that are not really sure of the future? The youths like you.
All right, first off, know what you want. Yes, I know what I want. I love marine, I love logistics, I love everything that has to do with transportation. So define what you want, define who you are, and set targets on how to get there. It's not going to be easy. There are a lot of discouragements already, but when you understand yourself and understand what you want, you'll be able to get there with time and patience.
Wow. Okay. As a young adult, you finished from maritime schools. What is the criteria to be one of the students?
All right. First off, please, there's no discrimination. The maritime industry is open to both female and male individuals. So I would love to encourage the female as well to tap into this opportunity. And first off, please try, pass your exams, read, study hard, get your papers, and attend accredited schools. It's very important. And also get some certifications, no matter how little. Please get some certifications. They will help. They will go a long way. And try to connect with the right people. Yes, be humble enough to connect with the right people, because I'm still in the learning phase. So I would still love to network and connect with a lot of people in the industry.
Congratulations once again, and have a pleasant evening.
And you.
At Rockview Hotels, Apapa, Lagos, for the annual Maritime Student and Youth Conference tagged Creating Jobs for the Youth of Nigeria through Maritime Sector. And I have with me here one of the runner-ups of the speech competition by name.
Amogoleke Olalekan Joseph.
Okay, how does it feel to be a winner?
Wow, it's so exciting that to give a speech on this conference, and at the end of the day, you can be able to get something when you're going home. I'm so excited, and I've learned so much to help people to prepare for the more future ahead of me too.
As a youth of Nigeria, you know it's very difficult to get jobs in this our country. So how do you feel? What really is that important thing that prompted you to say, okay, I must attend this program?
Wow. There's no job, everybody knew, but one of the things I just discovered that you need to keep developing yourself. I've graduated since 2018. There's no job. I have to go back for my postgraduate course so that to keep myself relevant in this maritime sector. So when I saw the advert on Facebook, I actually have interest, and I put on my ability together to put out the speech, and I submitted to them. And at the end of the day, I was contacted that I'm part of the people that were able to present today, and that was the reason why I was here.
So as a youth on your road to success, what advice do you have for youths that are gallivanting up and down doing nothing?
Oh, what I have for them is that they need to set priorities. What do they want to do? If you have vision on academics, pursue your academic vision irrespective whether there is job now or there is no job. One thing I knew that at appropriate time, opportunity will show up. When it show up, we'll be able to fix into it. So my encouragement to them that if you want to go academy, let them face academy. And if you want to learn work squarely and put all your best to whatever you're doing.
All right, guys, still at the annual conference of a Maritime Students and Youth Conference, actually the 6th edition, and I have with me here this gorgeously dressed looking twins.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Kehinde Oshibo. I'm C. Oshibo.
Okay, as one of the volunteers of the program, how has it been? What has been the ups and downs? It has been 6 years. What has been the ups and downs of putting this program together?
It's been awesome. The program is expanding, escalating by the year. Every year is expanding. We look at how we are impacting knowledge into the oncoming seafarers, the cadets. During our time, we never had such opportunity. And so it's been awesome what Sylvester Basu is doing. It's a dream that needs a whole lot of support. For this year, it's been good and bad. The good part is that a lot of school participated. A lot of industry people really came with a wealth of knowledge to impact on these kids. But the sad part is that no sponsorship. It's a whole lot of costs going down, but we remain undaunted.
Okay. What is your advice to the youths, the maritime youths? And there's this mindset that there are no jobs. What is the advice that will make them keep pushing that, okay, there's a future for this industry?
Yeah, in 3 words, we'll say KAM, knowledge, adventure, money. So for them, they should seek first the kingdom of knowledge, which will take them into cadetship placement. From there, then the money will follow. So they shouldn't be discouraged. They shouldn't be downcast. They should slug it out. But importantly, they should ensure that they pay attention to details. All the certifications that are necessary, they should have them.
Okay, thank you so much for coming and have a pleasant evening.